visa waiver program is a subject that should be discussed.
Yeah.
In this meeting, will you discuss this?
We've spent a lot of time on it. We've spent a lot of time discussing it already. Our countries have been discussing it, and we're taking it up today at a very important meeting right after this.
Can you talk to us about
Do you like the idea? It sounds like you like the idea, right? The waiver, do you like the idea? Okay. No, it's something we're thinking about.
Mr. President, on Venezuela, is the White House in contact with the Maduro regime, with
Yes.
his number 2, Cabello?
Well, we are in touch. We're talking to various representatives of Venezuela. We're helping Venezuela as much as we can. We're staying out of it, but we are helping it, and it needs a lot of help. It's an incredible tribute to something bad happening, and the something bad is socialism. And it's amazing because 15 years ago it was one of the wealthiest countries. Now it's one of the poorest countries. It has oil reserves, has a lot of things going, but it's a very sad thing what's happened. They don't have water, they don't have food, and we are helping a lot. We are talking to the representatives at different levels of Venezuela, yes. I don't want to say who, but we are talking at a very high level.
What's the status of the trade deal that you want to seal with Boris Johnson at the G7?
So I spoke with Boris Johnson. I think he's going to be a great prime minister. I think he's going to do a fantastic job. I've known him. A lot of people know that we have a very good relationship. I think he'll be far superior. I think he'll do something that will be I think he's going to be very important for the UK. I think he's going to be very important. Dealing with the European Union, I hate to say this to you, but dealing with the European Union is very difficult. They drive a hard bargain. They're represented by Jean-Claude, who is a friend of mine, but he's a tough man. He's a very, very tough man. He's a great negotiator. And we have all the cards in this country because all we'd have to do is tax their cars, and they would give us anything they wanted because they send millions of Mercedes over. They send millions of BMWs over. But we're talking to the European Union. We're going to see if we can work something out. But I will say this, dealing with the UK, they have not treated the UK very well. That's a very tough bargain they're driving, the European Union. It's a very tough bargain. And I think that UK has the right man in charge right now, the right person in charge in the form of Boris.
And if I could turn to Afghanistan, what is your current thinking on pulling out the United States?
Well, we're talking to the government of Afghanistan. We're talking to the Taliban, and we're talking to others. And we're looking at different things. We've been there for 18 years. It's ridiculous. We have taken it down a notch. We're at about 13,000 people right now, 13,000 Americans. NATO has some troops there too, by the way. And we're having good discussions. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Look, it's 18 years. We're not really fighting. We're almost more of a police force over there. It's been so many years, but we're like a police force, and we're not supposed to be a police force. And as I've said, and I'll say it any number of times, and this is not using nuclear, we could win that war in a week if we wanted to fight it. But I'm not looking to kill 10 million people. I'm not looking to kill 10 million Afghans because that's what would have to happen, and I'm not looking to do that. But it's a war that has been going on for almost 19 years now, and frankly, it's ridiculous. But with that being said, it's a dangerous place, and we have to always keep an eye on it.
Sounds like you'd like to pull completely out if you could.
I'd like to look at various alternatives. One of the alternatives is going on right now. We're talking about a plan. I don't know whether or not the plan is going to be acceptable to me, and maybe it's not going to be acceptable to them. But we are talking. We have good talks going, and we'll see what happens. This is more than other presidents have done. But we have brought it down. We are bringing some of our troops back. But we have to have a presence, yes.
Mr. President, could you clarify your position on enhanced background checks? After El Paso and Dayton, you seem to be fully in support of enhanced measures. When you were leaving Bedminster, you seemed to suggest that we already do have strong background laws, which a lot of people read as you dialing back on
Well, we do have. I mean, I'm not doing that to be cute. We have very, very strong background checks right now. But we have sort of missing areas and areas that don't complete the whole circle. and we're looking at different things. And I have to tell you that it is a mental problem, and I've said it 100 times. It's not the gun that pulls the trigger, it's the person that pulls the trigger. These are sick people, and it is also that kind of a problem. And we're looking at mental institutions, which we used to have. Like, as an example, where I come from in New York, they closed up almost all of their mental institutions, or many of them, and those people just went onto the streets, and they did it for budgetary reasons. Well, New York is not unique. They've done that in many places.
Would you support either of the House bills that were passed
Well,
earlier this year?
I'm not going to get into that, but we are in very meaningful discussions with the Democrats, and I think the Republicans are very unified. We are very strong on our Second Amendment. The Democrats are not strong at all in the Second Amendment. I would say they're weak on the Second Amendment, and we have to be careful of that. The Democrats would, I think they'd give up the Second Amendment. And the people that, a lot of the people that put me where I am are strong believers in the Second Amendment, and I am also. And we have to be very careful about that. You know, they call it the slippery slope. And all of a sudden, everything gets taken away. We're not going to let that happen.